You've shared your home with a cat, perhaps for many years. You watch her as she naps on a sunny windowsill, as she gently reaches for you in your moments of sadness. Cats are silent creatures, but a whole universe is hidden within that silence. And when the most difficult time comes, they don't cry for help, they don't call out, they quietly say goodbye. You might not recognize it right away. It might seem like she's just tired or wants to be alone for a bit. But it's in these small, almost unnoticeable changes that the whole message lies. She doesn't know how to speak in words, but you are the one who has always been by her side. You are her family, her everything. And she, despite all her pride and restraint, will try to tell you the most important thing. I am leaving. But she will say it in the language of silence, the language of gestures, gazes, and breath. Why is this so important? Because this is your chance to be there in the very last moment, to not miss it, not leave her alone when she is more scared than ever, not to deprive her of the most important thing, your presence. When we speak of love, we often imagine the beginning, the first meetings, the affection, the play, but the truest, most honest love reveals itself in the end. When you don't turn away, when you stay by her side even through the pain, when you know how to hear her farewell, even if it is spoken without words. This video isn't about fear. It's about the attention we can give, about the final duty that isn't written in a vet's notes or in online advice, but exists in the quiet space between you and your cat, in that fragile but real goodbye. If you notice even one of the signs we're about to describe, don't put it off. Stop. Sit down next to her, look into her eyes, and just be there. It might be the last thing you can do for her. Sign number 1. Isolation and a desire for solitude. You've probably seen it before. When a cat feels unwell, she seeks a hiding place. She'll hide in a secluded corner, under the bed, in a closet, in the bathroom. Sometimes it feels as if she has simply vanished. But in reality, this is an ancient, deeply ingrained instinct. In the wild, a sick animal is vulnerable. Therefore, a cat, even a domestic one surrounded by love, instinctively chooses solitude to pass away without witnesses. And if you notice that your cat, who always sought you out, is now avoiding your touch, not coming when you call, and hiding from sight, don't just assume she's offended or needs some space. This could be her way of preparing. She goes to a place where it's quiet, where she won't be disturbed, where she can disappear. And in this withdrawal, a farewell already echoes. Often, in these moments, you won't hear a sound, no meowing, no cries, only an absence, an empty space where she used to sleep. And this emptiness will grow day by day. She isn't asking for help because she feels it's already too late. She simply wants to do it in a cat's way, quietly, with dignity, in silence. If you suddenly find her in a place she's never gone before and she lies there for a long time, don't ignore it. Sit down nearby. Don't immediately reach out to her. Just be present. Let her feel that even in this final shadow, you are with her. One more thing. If a cat stops climbing to her favorite high spots, the sofa, the windowsill, the bed, and instead chooses the floor, corners, low spaces, this too can be a sign. Her body is weak, her strength is leaving her, and she instinctively gravitates towards the earth as if preparing to return to it. Some people find this hard to accept. They think she's just upset or that she's too hot or too cold, making up rational explanations to avoid facing the frightening truth. But a cat is not a person. She won't tell you, she will show you. And this distancing is the first thing she shows. Paradoxically, it is in the moment she pulls away from you that she needs you the most. She is simply scared and doesn't want you to see her weakness. Therefore, your presence, silent, patient, calm, can be her quiet anchor in her final sea. Sign number 2, changes in breathing and body temperature. In the hustle of daily life, it's easy to miss, but if you look closely, your cat's breathing has changed. It may have become shallow and infrequent, or on the contrary, rapid and labored. Sometimes you might hear a soft wheeze or an almost unaudible gasp. This isn't normal sleep, not just fatigue. This is something the body can no longer hide. As a cat's system begins to fail, the heart works overtime. The lungs are at their limit. Shortness of breath appears. Even if she's just lying down, you might notice her sides rising and falling too quickly, or conversely, seeming to pause for a fraction of a second. In older cats, breathing can be erratic, suddenly speeding up and then almost stopping. This isn't just old age. It's not a strange dream. This is the body signaling, I am getting tired. But what is especially telling is touch. Gently touch her with your fingertips. If you've held her before, you know how warm, soft, and alive she feels. But as a cat begins to pass, her body temperature changes. She becomes cooler, especially on her paws, tail, and ears. It's a subtle, almost unnoticeable chill, but it's real. The body stops sending warmth to the extremities, directing all remaining energy to the vital organs, the heart, lungs, and brain. If you feel that your cat, who used to be a little warm bundle, has literally become cold, do not ignore this. This isn't just a chill, it's the fading of life. Sometimes in these moments, she may tremble or moan softly, not loudly, more like it's coming from deep inside. It might look like she's just dozing, but in her, a great effort is being made to hold on to life. And if you are there, if your hand is warm, if your voice is gentle, it gives her support, a chance to not pass in solitude. Please don't just walk by. If you notice your cat lying in one spot for too long with heavy breathing and cold ears, don't postpone a visit to the vet. Yes, it might be too late, but this isn't about saving the body. It's about giving her the chance to not leave in fear, the chance to be with her until the very end. You can warm her, wrap her in a soft blanket, place your hand beside her. You don't have to speak, it's enough to just be there. Sign number 3, loss of interest in food and water. If you suddenly notice that your cat has stopped eating, not just being picky or turning her nose up, but has completely lost interest in food, this is one of the quietest but most alarming signs. Cats are creatures of ritual. Their food is not just a biological need, it's a part of life, a part of their routine, a sign that all is well. And when a cat suddenly stops eating, especially something she used to love, it is never random. It's not a bad mood, it's not "she'll eat later." It's the shutdown of a basic instinct, which means something inside her has already let go. The same applies to water. A cat can go without food for a couple of days, but without water, it's a signal of a deep systemic failure. And if your cat isn't drinking at all, if the water bowl remains untouched, if you even try to offer her water from your palm or a syringe and she turns away, it means her body has made a decision even if you are not ready to accept it. In these moments, she may just lie there, unresponsive to the smell of food, the rustle of a bag, or your gentle calls.
And that is likely when you will first ask yourself, what if this is the end? It's painful, incredibly so. It's a feeling of helplessness, when you want to scream but can't change anything. She looks through you, not because she doesn't recognize you, but because it's already difficult for her to stay here. Please don't force her. Don't try to force feed or water her if she resists. This can only increase her stress. Your job now is not to bring back her appetite, but to make her final hours warmer, calmer, and safer. Sit beside her, talk to her, remind her how much you love her. Tell her stories about what she was like, how you first brought her home, how she comically jumped on the windowsill or purred into your ear. Yes, she may not be able to hear well anymore, but the soul hears. Sometimes in this silence between you, there are more words than in your entire life together. And perhaps in this moment, you will realize everything you did for her, everything she gave you, was mutual, real, and without conditions. Sign number 4, when the cat comes to say goodbye. There's something almost mystical in how cats sense their final moments. Sometimes after long days of silence, solitude, and fading, she suddenly rises, with difficulty, slowly, unsteadily, but with purpose. She walks towards you. You might be sitting on the sofa, and suddenly she appears, climbs onto the bed, rests her forehead against your side, or jumps onto your lap. For the last time you feel her weight, and it's not the same as before. It's too light, as if a part of her has already departed. But she came to be near, to say what cannot be said with words. Cats don't say goodbye out loud, but they know who they belong to. And in the moment when the end is near, she wants to be where it was warm, where it was safe, where there was love. You can feel her breath, the slight tremble of her body. Sometimes she purrs faintly, like an echo of the days when she purred with happiness. Sometimes she just lies there, tucking her paws, resting her head on your chest. This isn't just a gesture, it's an act of deep devotion. It's a farewell expressed with her whole body. Some cats, before they pass, look you straight in the eyes for a long, still moment, as if taking you in one last time. And this gaze is not one of suffering. No, it is one of acknowledgement, of gratitude. It is a silent, "Thank you for being with me. I am leaving, but you were my home." Many people can't bear this moment. They start to cry, pull away, leave the room. But if you can, stay. Pet her. Not quickly, not abruptly. Just place your hand on her. Let her know you are there. Her passing is not into a void, but into a silence filled with your love. Sometimes these are the last minutes, sometimes the last hours. But it is in this gesture, when she comes to you, that the deepest sign is hidden. She is not afraid, because you are with her. If you have ever experienced this, you know it's a moment that is never forgotten. It doesn't fade, it is imprinted on your heart forever. And no matter how hard it is sacred, because it was true closeness, the kind that not every person gets to experience in their lifetime. Sign number 5, the final gaze. At some point, everything stops. You could be doing anything, clearing her bowls, adjusting her blanket, closing a window to stop a draft, and she is just lying there, looking at you. This gaze isn't asking for food, it's not an invitation to play, it's different. It's not a plea, and it's not fear. It's acceptance. And if you've seen it, if your eyes have met for even a moment, you will never be the same. Because in that instant, it's as if the cat understood everything. That her body no longer obeys, that the pain won't go away, that what lies ahead is unknown. And she looks at you, because you were the one who held her world together. In this gaze is a farewell that isn't dramatic or contrived, but real. It might last only a second. She might turn away afterwards, close her eyes, fall asleep, and you will be left with that gaze inside you. Sometimes it's filled with light, sometimes with emptiness, but most often with peace. Because if you were there until the end, if you held her, stroked her, spoke to her, she doesn't leave in fear. She leaves in acceptance. You might see her eyes become moist, slightly clouded. Her breathing becomes shallow, infrequent. You might feel her take one last sigh. And in that silence, it feels as if everything has been said. Please understand, if you have endured that gaze, if you were by her side, it is no longer just pain. It is strength. Because not everyone gets to depart while looking into the eyes of a loved one. But she could. And then you realize none of it was in vain. All the nights you sat with her, all the vet visits, all the toys, all the conversations, even the scoldings. All of it was life. And now she is leaving, but with you inside her heart. You might feel guilt, pain, emptiness. That's normal. But know this, she forgave you. She chose you. And with that look, she said everything she couldn't with words. You were my world. Thank you. You stayed, she left. And now you stand in the middle of a room where everything reminds you of her. The empty bowl, her bed, a toy, an imprint on the blanket. It seems as though the air itself has changed. It's become too heavy, or maybe too empty. The silence in the house is different now, without her breathing, without her footsteps, without her purring, without her life. If you held her in her final moments, you might still feel her touch. If not, you may feel guilt that you missed something, that you didn't get to say a proper goodbye. Allow yourself to feel it. Grief is also love. It's the other side of your bond. It's crucial not to shut down. You might want to hide her photos, or on the contrary, look at them for hours. You might cry at night or not cry at all, as if everything inside has turned to stone. Everyone has their own path, and there's no right way to grieve. There is only being honest with yourself. Don't be afraid to talk to others. Someone might say, "It was just an animal." That says more about them than it does about you. You know she was more than a cat. She was a family member, a friend, a part of your soul. Try not to blame yourself, even if you think you could have done more, sooner, better. Cats don't know about such things. They don't hold grudges. They leave with love. If she came to you in her final hours, it means she trusted you until the very end. And that is the most precious thing. Many try to fill the void immediately by getting another pet. Don't rush. Allow yourself to grieve properly. Find your own rituals. Some plant a tree, some light a candle in her favorite spot, some write a letter. Do something to express you were here. You lived, you loved, you mattered. And if you ever feel as if her gaze is still somewhere nearby, don't be afraid. It's not a fantasy. It's a memory that lives in your heart. She hasn't gone forever. She has simply stopped being physically present. But everything that was between you remains. And perhaps one evening, as you sit in the silence, you'll suddenly catch a familiar movement, as if someone just walked past. Quiet, barely perceptible, as if she looked in again to say, "I remember. I am with you. And you haven't lost me." If you're listening to this video, if you recognize yourself in these words, know that you are not alone. You are one of those who knew how to truly love. And that is a rare thing, and your cat knew it. Thank you for being with her. Thank you for being here.